In Australia, we have trailers that are towed by vehicles, believe it or not. These trailers have power leads that connect to the vehicle so that all the important lights work, like the indicators, brakes, and reverse. I'm going to be borrowing a trailer this weekend, and when I used it last time, I realized the power connector cable was just a little too short. When I turned tightly, it would come out. So to rectify this, I'm making an extension lead using parts from my local auto parts shop. I've got 1 meter of trailer cable, the female socket, and the male plug. These are 7-pin flat connectors, which are different to the 2 other 7-pin round connectors used in different states here in Australia. On the back of the packets, it has the wiring connection information telling me which pin connects to which coloured wire. So let's get started by taking the female socket out of the packet and opening it up. The 7 connectors are obviously not in numeric order. Here's the 1 meter of cable. I just need to snip the end off the cable, and then most importantly, putting the rubber grommet on the cable first before doing anything else. We'll put the grommets for both ends of the cable on at the same time, so I'll grab the other grommet from the male plug. It appears that it's a snug fit, so the best thing to do here is go and get a cup of boiling water and heat the grommet up to soften it to make it easy to slide the cable through. Even with them nice and soft, it's still a bit tight, but much easier to get on. Next is to remove the outer shielding from the cable to expose the smaller wires inside, and it's quite a thick piece of insulation, so it does take some delicate work to cut it just enough and to also make sure that I don't cut myself. I'll use my handy wire strippers here and take the ends off the inner cables to expose the wires ready for terminating into the pins. Following the handy dandy chart on the back of the pack, we'll start with the yellow wire. After doing pin 1, I thought it would be easier to undo all of the screws first. Pin 2 is black, pin 3 is white. Pin 4 is green, which I assume is this one. At this point I'm a little confused as to exactly which colour is what, as I'm red-green colourblind. What's mostly confusing here is the brown and red cables are similar in colour. The green one though seems pretty obvious. My solution here is an app I've got on my phone called Colour Inspector, and it makes it easy to identify the colour I'm looking at, but more importantly the colour family. You can see here how it shows the green family, then the brown family. It makes this super easy for me, and I'm never concerned I've done it wrong. Kind of like cutting the wrong wire when defusing a bomb, right? Anyways, it's easier for me to do the brown pin 7 first due to how it is ordered on the connector. And just to be sure, I double check the colour once I've put it in. Now back to green, which goes into pin 4. Blue is next into pin 5, which kind of needs some routing to get it in place. This is where these crimps are very useful, as they are much smaller than my fingers. Lastly is red into pin 6. I'm double checking all the screws are nicely tightened up, and then I push the cable forward to make sure the cable clamp gets a firm grasp on the cable. The screws here don't leave me with much confidence, however I'm sure once the outer case is on it will all stay together. Finally, I'll push the grommet on to seal the cable and it's all done. I've noticed here there is a little bit of waste plastic from the injection moulding process left behind, so I'll quickly trim that off, and now I'm all done with the female socket. Now to repeat the same process with the male plug, so I'll speed this up as it's just all the same. I realised at this point that I could remove an extra screw on the plug that allowed all the pins to be removed, and I could put the pins on the cable instead of putting the cables into the pins. I thought about doing it this way, but I kind of felt like that it would get more complicated, so I just put that screw back. Interesting design though, knowing that it could be done that way. Now that the cable is complete, and seeing as I don't actually have a trailer available to test it, we'll do a test with the multimeter. This will confirm each pin is correctly connected. As luck would have it, they are all correctly wired. And there we have it folks, a 1 meter trailer extension lead ready to go. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, bye!